Hey guys, thank you so much for stopping by today and welcome to my channel, and I hope that you enjoyed today's video. So today we're going to do an unhaul. So this isn't going to be an anti-haul where I talk to you about products that I don't want to buy. Instead, I'm going to share with you some products that I did buy and I tested them out, and for whatever reason I returned or I unhauled them. Now, even though these products didn't work out for me, these brands have a lot of products that I would highly recommend. So each time I talk to you about a product that I did unhaul, I'm also going to share with you a product that I would highly recommend from the same brand. And I'm going to try to keep all of the brands in the same category if I can. So I usually don't return makeup products. I usually end up getting products that work out for me. Sometimes I may end up getting having to return a foundation or a concealer because maybe I got the wrong color. But usually I'll end up keeping a product even if it's not phenomenal for me. If it's okay, I'll keep it. Sometimes I may end up liking it down the line. Sometimes I may feel like this product doesn't work with some of my other products, but it does work well with other products. But unfortunately, these products, they were just so bad for me that I just didn't see the point in keeping them. So I only have 4 products that I'm going to share with you today. So let's get started. So my first unhaul product is the Black Opal True Color Pore Perfecting Foundation. This was a YouTube made me buy it product. I was so excited about this product. I decided to get the color Beautiful Bronze, but even before I purchased it, I knew from looking at the swatches online that I was going to have to either buy 2 shades to mix them together, or I was going to have to get a shade that wasn't my exact match. So I was prepared for that. The color Beautiful Bronze was the closest match for me. I did swatch it on my neck the night that I got it, and I could tell that it was a little dark and a little too red for me. But I think the color that would have been lighter than that would have been way too light and way too yellow. So I don't really know what I was thinking, but normally when I try out a new product, especially if it's like a foundation, I'll usually do it on a day where I'm not going anywhere, or if I am going out, I'm not going anywhere important. I'm just maybe like going to visit my family, or I'm just hanging out for a few. For some reason, I decided to test this foundation out going to work. So I put the foundation on maybe 7:30 in the morning, and I immediately could tell that it was too dark for me, but I was prepared for that. Now I will say, if you're familiar with the Clinique Beyond Perfecting Foundation and Concealer in one, that foundation, when you put it on, it's a little dark at first, but then when it kind of sets and dries down, it kind of matches your skin color a little bit better, like it lightens up a little bit. If you're familiar with that, that's the same thing that the Black Opal foundation did for me. So yes, it was a little dark and it was a little red when I first put it on. After a couple of minutes, it still wasn't a very good match, but it wasn't as dark or as red after a few minutes of having it on my face. So normally I don't highlight my face. I would normally just contour. Because the foundation was a little dark for me, I decided to highlight and contour my face that day. And after highlighting and setting the foundation with powder, I thought it looked good enough to go out in. So I put the foundation on about 7:30 in the morning. I went to work at about maybe 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning. I looked at my face in the mirror, and this foundation was literally melting off of my face. Now granted, it was hot outside, it was summertime, but I was in an air-conditioned building, number one, and I've never had a foundation like actually melt off of my face the way this one did. Like, you could actually see streaks of foundation coming down my face. My face was extremely oily. I do have oily skin, so I'm very used to having to blot throughout the day, but this looked like I put oil on top of the foundation. My face just looked horrible. So I blotted as much as I could. Thankfully, I live very close to my job, so I took an early lunch. I went home, I washed the foundation off. I put it right back in the packaging because I still had the box, and that same afternoon I returned it to the store. Now, the product that I would highly recommend from Black Opal, I don't have another foundation to recommend, but this is the Black Opal Invisible Oil Blocking Powder. This powder is not as good as my go-to powder, which is the Maybelline Fit Me powder. And a couple of times I've tried the Patrick Star MAC powder, but I've only tried that twice. This black opal powder doesn't have the staying and the lasting powder as the Maybelline and the Patrick Star powder, but it is still a pretty good powder. If you need something that's going to make your skin look more mattified after it's gotten a little oily throughout the day, this will definitely do it, but you may have to reapply it a couple of times. So even though I don't have a foundation to recommend for black opal, I do think that this black opal powder would be a good product. So this is my recommendation from black opal. My second unhaul product, this is going to be a tough one, and I think a lot of people are going to be like, what is wrong with you? But this product simply did not work for me, and I'm referring to the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. If there's anybody else out there who did not like this concealer, please let me know, because I can't be the only person who did not like this concealer. This was hands down a YouTube made me buy a product. I mean, everybody was talking about Tarte Shape Tape, and I couldn't wait to get this concealer. I was so excited. I knew from watching videos that a little bit of that concealer goes a very long way. So when I put it on, I put on what I would consider a very little bit of it. I just dabbed it on, and when I went to go blend it out, the concealer would not move. It was like stuck in place on my face, to the point where I had to use one of the makeup remover wipes, and I had to wipe it all off of my under eye. When I did that, I used some of my face moisturizer. I put a good amount of moisturizer under my eye. I worked it into my skin really well, and immediately I put some more of the concealer on. Now I will say, with the moisturizer, it made it a lot easier for me to blend the concealer out, but it still didn't blend out like the rest of my concealers that I like. I still had to work with it a lot to get it to look okay on my skin. After a few hours, I noticed that my under eye area looked really dry, looked really cakey. I did take a dewy finish spray, and I sprayed it on a sponge and dabbed it on my under eye, and that did help. But again, a few hours later, it still went back to looking dry and cakey. So I was absolutely determined to make this concealer work for me, because everybody else loved it and I wanted to love it too. So I did try again the second day. The second day, same thing. The foundation was very, very hard to blend out. It was just very dry. It was just very cakey, and it made me look older, like it aged my skin. I just chalked it up as one of those products that works for everyone else but doesn't work for me. But it was a huge disappointment, because I really wanted to like that concealer. However, one of my favorite all-time concealers is the Tarte Maracuja Creaseless Concealer. The only reason this isn't my top concealer, this is in the color Deep, and Deep has more of like a peachy undertone, and it works. I mean, it gives you kind of like a color correcting vibe because of the peach, but I have a very prominent pink cool undertone, so I like concealers that have a pink undertone to it. If this concealer had a pink undertone rather than a peach undertone, it would hands down be my absolute all-time favorite concealer. That's the only reason I don't wear this most days, is because the undertone isn't quite right for my skin. However, this is like the opposite of Tarte Shape Tape for me. This concealer is very hydrating, it's very blendable, it doesn't crease. I don't think you have to set it with a powder. It does have Maracuja oil in it, and I think the Maracuja oil is what's keeping my under eye nice and hydrated. My under eyes do tend to get kind of dry, and I notice, like, I think it's because like my skin is aging. I'm in my late 30s. The Maracuja oil in this concealer, it really, really hydrates your skin. So unfortunately, Tarte Shape Tape did not work out for me, but this right here is one of my absolute hands down holy grail concealers. Okay, my third unhaul product is the NYX Lip Lingerie Liquid Matte Lipsticks. Again, this is another product that I was very excited about. I picked up 2 of them from the store. I can't recall the colors that I picked up, but I believe one of them was called Embellishment, and I think the other one might have been called Exotic. I remember one of them was like very pink toned, but I'm sorry, I can't remember the colors. What I do remember about these lipsticks is that I could not test them out. You know how sometimes when you put a liquid lipstick on, you may put it on and immediately it looks really nice, it looks really pigmented, but as the day goes on, or sometimes rather quickly after you apply it, the lipstick dries on your lips. With these lipsticks, it was almost like they were drying on contact or something. Like they were just really dry and crumbly as I ran them across my lips, so I couldn't even get to test them out because I just couldn't get them to work on my lip. Now, one thing I will say though, I don't wear liquid lipstick very often. It's just not my thing, but I do have a few liquid lipsticks in my collection that work very well if I were to wear them. But these lipsticks, I just couldn't, I couldn't even apply it without it drying on my lip. I tried both colors and both of them did the same thing. Now, one of my favorite lipstick formulas, however, is the NYX Liquid Suede Cream Lipsticks. And I'm pretty sure I like these because they're not a matte lipstick. So one thing about these, because it's a cream, it's not gonna dry down to a complete matte. If you're looking for a lipstick that is not gonna transfer, one that's gonna be very, very flat and matte on your lips and last all day, this is not it. These lipsticks you will have to reapply throughout the day. If you do have to reapply them, when the lipstick starts to wear off, it wears off very evenly on your lips. And if you wanted to go in with another coat, you could put a fresh coat on top of the coat that's wearing off, and it's gonna look just like you put like a brand new fresh coat of lipstick on your lips. I don't remember how much these were, and I don't remember how much the lip lingeries were, but I do know that they were pretty similar in price. So this is the product that I would highly recommend from NYX, even though the lip lingeries didn't work out for me. So my last unhaul product is one that I unhauled very recently, just within the past few days, and that is the LA Girl Oomph'd mascara. So LA Girl has 4 mascaras to choose from, and I believe they're fairly new. I just saw them in the store quite recently, and I got the one that's supposed to be the volumizing mascara, or the voluminous mascara. This mascara is like pointless. I mean, if you put this mascara on one eye and then you didn't put mascara on the other eye, both of your eyes would look exactly the same, like you don't have mascara on either eye. It doesn't add any length to your lashes, it doesn't add any volume. The only thing it does is coat your lashes with some of the product. That is absolutely it. I tried it only once, and this is one of those products that I didn't even bother giving a second try. I kept putting the mascara on. I just kept going at it and nothing was happening. This mascara is like putting nothing on your lashes. So I returned it. However, LA Girl has quite a few products that I would recommend, but in keeping with eye makeup, I would recommend their LA Girl Ultimate Eye Intense Stay Auto Liner. This is one of the eyeliners that I use in my lower waterline. What I love about it, number one, is the color. So I like these types of colors for my waterline because they brighten my area without looking too bright. But I also really like the fact that it's retractable. So I love it when I don't have to sharpen something. These glide right on your waterline or on your upper eyelid. And it doesn't say that this is waterproof, but it is called the Intense Stay Auto Liner, so it gives me the impression that it's supposed to be very long lasting. I will say the eyeliner that I wear most days is the Essence eyeliner, and this one is supposed to be waterproof. This one lasts like pretty much until I take it off. This one doesn't have the same lasting power, but it is still pretty good. So the mascara was an absolute no-go for me, but this is my recommended product from LA Girl. So those are all of my unhaul products that I have to share with you today. Let me know some of the products that you want to share that you've had to unhaul and why they didn't work for you. And if you have a recommendation for another product in that brand that did work for you, let us know. If you felt the same way about any of the products that I mentioned here today, especially Shape Tape, like please calm my nerves and let me know that I'm not the only person out there who cannot use Shape Tape. Please let me know in the comment section. So I hope that you really enjoyed today's video, and I hope to see you back for the next one. Until then, take care. Bye.